disastrous, but luck had it their way. They were able to pull zone and then kind of control the low ground. It was really smart from them, and I love to see our Brazilian trio up in the top 10.
Can't forget as well, they came to NA, right? They decided they wanted more practice. They wanted to kind of refine their skill set. And Mini, that's showing here on a global stage. It looks so good.
And also, they played in EU last chapter as well. Chapter 5, they came on over to EU, had a little go there as well. It wasn't necessarily successful for them, but showing what they can do here.
That's right, Mini. I'd love to keep talking. That battle bus horn has come, so it is time. Game number 11. Let's go.
Game 11. There's only 2 chances left for every team in this lobby from around the world to get points and rise up that leaderboard. We're seeing the top 4. Anything is achievable. But we had Levin on the last broadcast hyping up, representing EU. I had to bring a brother from NA over. Vivid is going to grace us here this time around.
Jacob, they had to bring in all the stops for this one. We've been talking about it all day. Yeah, NA's looking a little rough. We're still fighting for 3rd place right now, but we know how the fights early game are going on. It's all about Rangers ruin.
And Tayson, gonna be the first touchdown, grabs the chest. Chino running around, but nowhere left to run. Pablo, though, with the sweeper finds Tayson. It's gonna be Chicho brought down next by Ferdoxy. 2 versus 1 scenario, but Atris has a real chance. Atris takes out Pablo. It's all down to the 1v1, and Ferdoxy immediately heading for the high ground. Doesn't want to get trapped with the swarm, but that separation, he hasn't had a chance to utilize his shield potion just yet. Atris, on the other hand, wrapping around, taking out, stopping Fred in the midst of healing. But Atris, he just can't close the gap. He doesn't have any materials. Ferdoxy doesn't have a whole lot left to work with either, but he has the builds in his favor. And Atris, he'll opt to try and trade, but it's the patented Fred Lurk, and he's creeping up. Atris can't get the revive. Ferdoxy through the window, and Atris still can't find it.
He got multiple pieces through that wall, and even the cone inside. He's trying to distract him long enough while he backtracks and tries to go revive for revive. So no longer going to be a 1v1. Tayson and Pablo are back into the game, but business as usual. Kazi, Tinka, and Aspect are looking to third party this fight.
Oh my gosh, it's the same story over and over. The hesitation comes in, right? The elongated fight. We're still in a 2v2. We know the third party's gonna come in, but if you take a look at the map, there's only 1 orange arrow. Maybe the full commit has not come in just yet. We'll have to see how this one plays out.
It's almost like sending in the lone scout, try and figure out, is this really worth getting involved with just yet? But Tayson, Atris, they've got such an advantage now over Pablo and Ferdoxy. Their HP rapidly dwindling away here as Tayson now just waiting for that final opportunity, but without a shotgun, he doesn't feel confident enough, and for good reason, because one good bump shot could be the end of it. Ferdoxy's gonna opt to try and get away, but Atris just too accurate. Atris immediately panning the other direction, and that'll be the end of Ferdoxy's team.
When Ferdoxy hit that crash pad, Atris had 9 medium bullets left. By the time he got that elimination, 4 well-placed shots. He gets the elim, they win off spawn, and just like Ferdoxy had those chances, a comeback opportunity for Tayson.
But Vivid, you know, we've been watching that off spawn take place all day long. You have to expect that surely third party is still going to want to get involved.
Yeah, I mean, the reboot, right? That's going to be on their minds. Is that going to be possible? We know when you go ahead and reboot, there's a giant beam that comes down from the sky. Lets everybody know, but oh my gosh, Darm, Damus, and Pix, they're in trouble.
Yeah, they're in trouble. Pix is going to be down. Malibuca walks and pings. They have advantage in this fight, and they know how stacked the top side of the leaderboard is, and they're not scared. They want to continue to put the pressure. It's just a matter of, did they see Darm? Did they see Demus rotate over in that direction towards the rainbow field? And I do think they did. Crash pads coming out. They're trying to close the gap.
Battle between 3rd and 7th, it's just not worth it. The juice is not worth the squeeze here for Bolin and Demus Darm. Fortunately enough for them, Malibuca not checking the bushes, a little bit lackadaisical.
And this is how we know it's game 11, right? With only a couple chances left for some of these teams to pick up points. This is atypical for Malibuca, Walks, and Ping. We've seen them kind of base up early every single game. But now the push, the aggression, they got to be thinking about the points they need.
It's just all too close for comfort. Swizzy, Queasy, and Murstache know full well they had such a monumental lead to start the day, but it only took several matches, and they've watched those points quickly go the other direction for everybody else except them.
Yeah, you're getting a little bit of a deeper look, looking towards the north, trading shots with Mr. Savage and the entire trio towards the west. It is going to be goofy in the trio. Even with a knock there, there's just too much time and distance separating these two teams. It's going to take a crash pad and a Flowberry Fizz, and it still might not even be enough as we jump on board Sadie, Panzer, Yapko. The crowd just constantly letting them know how they feel, and since the zone is coming over towards the Kappa Kappa factory, you can see this is where they're going to set up to try to get that damage.
I mean, yeah, this is something that we've seen across every single one of the games, right? Yapko just kind of based up early on. Seti, you might be looking at his inventory like, why does he have nothing in there? That's because he's going around the entirety of the map, making sure that his team is going to be set up very, very nicely for the rest of the game, while they go ahead and pick up all of the damage.
Elsewhere, you see some of the action going on. Baka getting a knock onto Adapter. Hasn't cleaned up the elimination yet, but Darm has been found out. Walks and pings. They take the 2v1. One step closer to sending the entire trio back to the lobby, but Malibuca ends it as well in the 1v1 against Demus. Third place is out of there.
Malibuca might have missed them the first time, but they knew they had to still be local to the area. There's only so far that they can actually squirm away to, and the fact that they just get completely ran down here by Walksping and Malibuca, those are the types of aggressive plays you have to make when you are in 7th place and you're staring down a leaderboard that is so tight-knit.
The crowd just constantly cheering for anybody on the MA or Havoc squads, letting them know, like, hey, take our energy, you guys have this. As Yamzo clicks in Higgs, different strategy this time around. Instead of sitting on top of Supernova Academy, and they're going for a lurk. Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts, and they do see all the information in the feed. So if any of them do get knocked, I expect Clix and his trio to run straight over and try to get the chop, clean up what could be good damage.
Yeah, but this is something that we've seen before, right? Socials were kind of talking about how Clix, yeah, they might have gotten a knock on this exact trio before, but they were a little bit hesitant to go ahead and push, right? Are we going to see something similar right now? Will they go ahead and full commit? I mean, 12th place going into game number 11. You would imagine they got to be thinking this time, we got to go for it.
But sometimes, if you let it sit too long, your plate starts to go cold, and if they don't act fast, they're gonna maybe have to watch this opportunity completely pass them by. The big thing here, too, is that Kanata and Bolts, they're not even replenishing their shields. They are totally content with being knocked inside of their Surge base. They've got Rapid, healthy. I mean, that's your IGL, so of course he's just refarming all of the materials, looking for extra ones as well.
I mean, that's scary. You're sitting on the global stage right now. I can tell you right now, Jacob, if I was sitting up there with no shield on, knowing that so many of these competitors have been making plays on these exact type of bases. We've seen it time and time again, not only throughout the year, but throughout this exact competition, that plays, these sneaky plays for the bottom of these Surge towers. They are made all the time. You have no shield right now?
It's into my head. I'm thinking, don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. They're trying to watch out for Rapid. They know their focus on top over at the OXR HQ, and they know Rapid is wandering around on the low ground, replenishing all of the materials that they use to build that Surge tower, and they're just waiting, like I said, for that knock or for an opportunity to get that 3v1 onto Rapid, whichever one comes first.
But if Rapid goes one step too far, Iamzo, Clix, Higgs, the moment that they realize that he's by himself, Rapid would actually be the best player to hit a nice 3-2-1 on, because he's the one carrying everything for Kanata and Bolts right now. He has max materials just about. He's still trying to finalize just the last few components. Clix, Iamzo, Higgs just creeping forward. Rapid starting to make his way up, but they've been exposed. They took moments too long, and now Rapid, red alert Mayday situation here. But Bolts, Kanata with a plethora of heals in this Surge base. This is not the place to be for Clix, Iamzo, and Higgs.
instantly trying to go for that chop down. All three are up above. Here it comes. They pop the Flowberry Fizz just in time, but Clix landing an immense amount of damage, getting bolts down to just a sliver of HP, and they're immediately pushing over. Vivid said it, and he meant it. They are learning their lesson. 331 points. They fell outside of the top 10 with 2 games left. They have to take these chances.
But Vivid, do you think that it's still worth trying to force this engagement, knowing full well that you're looking at a team like Kanata that's got more than enough surge, and they can afford to stick around with all these heals?
I think the power behind the push for Clix, Yamzo and Higgs right there, it was all about the surprise. Rapid with an MVP performance, acting like a bird in the sky, making sure that he kept his 2 teammates safe. Shout out to him, right? Because when you look at the leaderboard, they're in 5th place right now. If Rapid doesn't see them, everything falls apart. So shout out to Rapid for catching that one. And Mr. Savage, Chap, and Reason, they've been having a pretty good weekend, but towards the end of the competition right now, it seems like they're slowing down.
Do have to believe it's a little bit revitalizing, though, when you watch Reason put on such a strong solo performance in the last lobby. That tells me they've still got gusto, and they're still willing to throw everything on the line to make it work.
Yeah, they're chasing right now. Aegis, Acorn, and Poyo, they see Mixin outside by himself. They're trying to clean up that elimination. Upflow's gonna go down as well. No more knocks coming into play, which means that full team is down and out of this lobby. The aggressive plays coming late into the day here on day 2 for Aegis, Acorn, and Poyo seem to be working out.
Jacob, you're talking about aggressive plays. We've obviously been able to take a look at a couple of them, but if you look in the top left, the player count right now, 59. This lobby is getting destroyed by aggression right now.
These guys are crashing on each other is what that tells me, Vivid. But Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstache, they're taking a much more tactical approach. Queasy, the mastermind, you have to remember, back at the Invitational in 2022, he was the one that made the decision. I want to land on them. I want to challenge it, and it's not as direct, but it's still there.
Jacob, this is a strategy. They know they land OXR. They're waiting on top of the mountain. They want to rain down the shots as they fly through the sky.
They crack the shields onto one. There's just so much distance before he reaches the ground. He's out of render distance overall. Instantly comes the crash pad. Merstache, Queasy, Swizzy, they're trying to rotate in that direction. Finally, they get another opportunity, and it works. Vanya goes down. Merstache, Swizzy, and Queasy are going after 2nd place.
But what's going to be there faster? The double revive or Swizzy, Merstache, and Queasy. They're doing everything they can to try and collapse onto this position. Vanya's already been back up into the running, but they're going all in here. Swizzy, Queasy, Merstache, they're looking to control their own destiny. They want to take down Vanya. They want to make it so that game 12 isn't even close. But Merstache, Queasy, Swizzy, they're just not able to close the gap. And Merstache, he's lost too much HP. He's going to be forced to fall back.
This is it. This is the moment. Why wait till game 12? Marius, Pixie, and Vanya, they've given an opportunity here to take down 1st place and potentially take that spot. Few points separate them, and Swizzy's probably realizing their backs are up against the wall, maybe even second-guessing this decision to go ahead and try to surprise attack them. But they have the low ground. Marius, Pixie, Vanya, they have the high ground, and since they do have that, they have the decision to hold and pressure them down below or rotate out like you see here.
No risk, no story, though, and Marius a little bit split apart here. Merstache, Quizzy, Swizzy,
Oh my
they're still
God.
chasing them all the way down to the bird to go. These guys are full-on fighting inside of the storm. It's early zone tick, so they don't have to worry too heavily, but it's the storm sickness, Jacob. Both of these teams are delaying their own endgame.
It's something that we saw come into play in that last game, the storm sickness, getting chunks of HP ripped off in the end game, but they're continuing to go. They want to chase this one down, but Pixie on the other side, he's the most elevated. Vanya, he's on the low ground trying to heal the best that he can, but so Pixie is making sure to defensively hold that high ground. Marius as well, Flowberry Fizz, just make sure to top off the shields. That way they can force them down further and further. They continuously are getting chased, but you say, you know what? You want to fight? Come get it.
They're throwing everything at this one. The inventory, all of the heals, they're disappearing. Marius is becoming fully aware that the investment is soon becoming not worth it. How aggressive they're gonna get. They're coming right box to box, wall to wall right now.
But think about the biggest differences here. Queasy's team, they're not actually carrying shotguns. All they have is the Wrecker revolvers in comparison to Marius, who's rocking both, but it's a gray Sentinel at best. and that Wrecker Revolver just not able to get close enough. Pixie, Vanya, Marius essentially at a standstill right now with Queasy.
They have the majority of the heals. You already see the slurp juice in the inventory, med kits being used. Essentially almost 200 HP and shields combined between these two, so they do have a little bit more of an upper hand. And I think Marius knows they're running out of HP resources to keep this fight going longer, so they are definitely now officially on the clock this deep in the zone. It's only the 4th one overall. Merstash and them still have splashes underneath. Vanya's dropping, almost gets boxed up. Merstash has his head on a swivel, continuously turning around, but Taco talked about the double pump, and there it is in action. Marius is able to get the knock onto 1, but he gets dropped to 30 HP. They desperately need the siphon, but oh no! Disaster strikes! Pixie is now the last one alive! Merstash and Swizzy, they lose Queasy, but it's only a knock. He's quickly going for the revive. A miracle in the making as Pixie falls!
They got all 3! That's all that they needed! The space has been created, but now they have to capitalize on it. It's one thing to take them out, it's another to keep building on the lead overall. Queasy, Merstash, and Swizzy, this game has just begun.
Insane scenes here. 2 top teams from EU fighting. Now it's NA's chance as Peterbrock, Ritual, and Cold end that fight as soon as we turn in, and he's using his own emote on him, Showboat, and said, hey, you might be ahead of us on the leaderboard, but we know who's the king.
Peterbrock, Cold, and Ritual, we just tuned in. 6 eliminations. That one's gotta feel good. Coming all the way over from NA to the global stage. Kind of that back and forth that happens between those 2 trios. That one's gotta feel good, but I can't lie, Taco, right? Ritual with 4 eliminations himself, showing what a year's worth of mechanical training can really do on the big stage.
We all witnessed the Richie 1v3s throughout the divisional cups, Vivid, and even in the majors, Ritual was putting up quite a stellar performance, but now things are gonna fall directly into the line of sight here for PH, Zen, Phaser, and King. They've already spotted out 2 other teams based on mountains right next to us. These next couple of rotates could be rather difficult, but Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts, they're still looking to press forward. They're actually trying to do it from underneath. They're hoping that they can just collect whatever leftover hard mats they can find.
With a sold-out crowd, you know they're going for M8, you know they're going for Havoc, so everybody at home, watching on Twitch, watching online, you need to give your energy to NA if you want to see a miracle comeback, because 2nd, 3rd, 4th place, all of them down. 5th place, that's Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts, and a chance to close the gap. Especially more so if they can figure out a way to take down Queasy, Swizzy, and Merstash, but we're now into the top 17. This is where placement points are gonna come into play, and they're gonna start moving quickly.
Vivid, how do you feel seeing this rotation by Savage, Reason, and Chap? It looked relatively healthy, but they're not the only ones. Other teams in EU definitely making their presence known.
Yeah, the chase is on right now for a couple of our teams, namely Malibuca, Walks, and Ping. The aggression early, they want to go ahead and catch up to Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts, right? That's the only team that is currently alive that is ahead of them right now. And as I say that, pressure starts to rain in.
Why does this look like one of the practice lobbies right now, though? Down to our last 17 teams and only 6 zones. Ping, Walks, Malibuca, they're trying to see if they can bring down Agers and Acorn with it. Pollo's already been claimed. Acorn, Agers just trying to create a little bit of space, but they know this might be a fight that they can't avoid any longer. They're gonna have to try and take a crash pad out of here, but Malibuca, Walks, and Ping, they are fully wary of what lies ahead.
Yeah, and you can see in the minimap, Acorn, Agers, they immediately rotated out with or without the reboot card. A couple more teams rotating in and around this path for Pings, Walks, and Malibuca. Could be opportunities for elims or more damage, but they see that coming. They want to continue to rotate in. Right next to them, Queasy, Merstash, Swizzy, all trying to get this elevation differential for this next zone.
But just above them on the other side of this mountain face, Kanata, Rapid, Bolts, they see the crash pad. Merstash, he's been clipped. Merstash is brought down. Swizzy also incredibly low. They're going to be forced to drop all the way down. That height security that they were once hoping for has been completely lost here. Queasy, the healthiest member of his team, but he's got nobody next to him. He can't get close to Swizzy.
And that's that investment. What goes around comes around. If you want to sit and storm and fight between first and second place, you want that one to be drawn out. You want to invest everything you have into it. Once you realize that you got to make one of these rotations all the way up the mountain, all of these aimers kind of paying attention to you, you realize quickly you don't have what it takes to survive in this lobby.
Oh my, second, third, and fourth. I talked about them being out. And now 5th place has just lost their IGL and Rapid, and it's Queasy and Swizzy that are doing the majority of that damage as they try to make their way into the zone.
But Queasy can't get down. He has no mats. They were all on Swizzy and Mustache. They hadn't had a chance to actually drop any of their materials. He does see a crash pad. He's trying to bring Swizzy up with him. And now Swizzy manages to connect. What a brilliant play from Queasy. Most players would have probably taken that for themselves, but he said, nah, you're coming back up here with me.
That's just a shine. That's just a glimpse.
W? That was a W play right there. That was fucking W.
We call him one of the greatest IGL. No, forget that. That's why we call him one of the greatest Fortnite players in the history of the game. And he's looking to prove it. If he could just close out these last 2 games, even with the loss of our stats, there's still 1,100 damage above the threshold as they land a couple more shots. Now 1,200 and continuously rolling.
But this is a really healthy trio. Cooper, Curly, Reed. I don't know if that's what Queasy's really looking to chase up. He's not trying to bark up the wrong tree here after all. They've got to be a little bit more reserved here, Vivid. They don't want to overextend their welcome.
I mean, they're in the mix of things right now. They've gotten a couple of shots on a couple of trios right there. Maybe they can make something happen. As I say, that Queasy actually gets knocked. Now it's going to be all left to Swizzy. Swizzy gets knocked down. First, second, third, fourth, all out of the competition.
They at least had some eliminations to go with it, but will it really be enough? A leaderboard will have to wait and tell a different story here. Malibuca walks and Ping, though, fighting a battle of their own. They're now looking to see if they can overthrow the high ground. I drop Cammy, Hottie. They've been a little bit tagged up here, but it's Ping who eats the greater bulk of his shields there. Malibuca walks, now having to head towards the forefront. They're looking back. They're trying to provide some support. They have a slight placement on this side of the mountain, and they are looking down, and guess who's underneath them? Peterbot, Cold, Ritual, Mr. Savage.
Oh, damn! Peterbot's still in.
A good chunk of the top 10 overall back into the lobby. Even our 5th place team on that leaderboard missing a player, and one of the more important ones into Rapid. As FaZe, PHN, King, they know they're not in zone just yet. In fact, they might have one of the farthest pulls in the entirety of the lobby. With Aspect, Tinka, Kazi in their path, they want to continue to roll through. Even with the med kits, even with the minis, they realize they are lacking materials and a ton of them.
Paying attention to the leaderboard of the last Global Championship. No minor region teams in the top 10. King, FaZe, PHN, they're trying to make that push right now. When you want to talk about a push, Taco, Bolts towards the bottom of the mountain. No mats to work with. Top 5 as it currently stands. The push is on.
What a genius, though. Bolts recognizing that the zone's going to pull over this Big Ben tunnel face. He's going to take a little bit of a harbor safety inside. But King, he's got literally 1 HP and a dream. The small shield potion, he's managed to get it off. But FaZe, only 2 builds remain. He can't keep continuing to hold that leverage over King 10. Instead, FaZe holding on for dear life, but he needs the heal. He won't get the chance. He's gonna be eaten alive by the lobby.
Oh, he drops the crash pad.
Oh my god.
Straight up and
He's
back
dead.
to the lobby with that elimination. That one's gonna hurt, but a lot of those rank ups coming in, and that's an A rank upgrade. That could be fruitful for Bolts underneath, who has to start to think, who has to start to act quick, because he has only 8 builds, no heals in his loadout, and no mobility on top of that as we're going high up the mountain.
Bolts doesn't even get a chance really to try stop and check. He's just making sure that he stays concealed towards that backside of zone. But on the high ground, Palad, Hero, FKS, they've actually managed to overtake one of the best positions that we've seen them in all weekend long.
Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual, they don't want to walk away from this competition without at least putting some sort of a staple into it. They want to show everybody that, hey, listen, we had a tough time off spawn, but when we make it to the end game, we can put on a show.
Yeah, Bolts just went down off the side of that mountain. Their run in this game has come to an end. Did they get enough to move into the top 4? But Peterbot now battling for it all, and he is by himself. Cold and Ritual are all down below, and he's done it. He's gotten the high ground. He's gotten an elimination. Here he is. He's finally woken up from his slumber, and he's continuing to pressure down and stealing the high ground away. He joins Ritual and Cold on the other side and takes what's theirs.
Yesterday, Peterbot said, it's my day, y'all, but today, it's a whole new beast coming alive here in the final hour.
Uh-oh.
And it's going to be taken out by Ritual. Aspect as well, claiming that series of eliminations, but Cold, Peterbot, and Ritual, they're now kings of the mountain face, and they might be kings of this lobby if everyone else isn't careful.
There's still more than half of the placement points still available in this lobby, and I think Reason knows it. That's why he's moving to the outside of the zone. We saw 3 different med kits, a replenished amount of materials, and this could be the difference maker in terms of point differential as that leaderboard goes down below. Malibuca is struggling all around, rejoins his team. The splashes are coming out, but they're in the backside of the zone. They're sacrificing HP to try to catch any team off guard.
It's because of the way that the zone is pulled over this slight bridge of elevation, though. Malibuca, Ping, they don't have a whole lot of builds. Malibuca is going to be forced to try and play heals, try and acquire whatever placement points are possible. The siphon materials going to give him a little bit of extra time and the 2 med kits, but still, he has to make his way forward, and he's going to have to crash directly into Reed Cooper and Curly. But the moment they head down, they're taken out by Peterbot.
Reed just getting targeted from up above. He loses all of his materials, has no other choice, but another team contests towards the high ground. Cold, Ritual, and Peterbot, they're 4 scrambling around, figuring out a way to reunite. The Flowberry Fizz does come out. That's Tisco, that's Striker, that's Kadu. They've taken down NA's best, but it's only for so long. Revenge comes in, and it comes in quick. Cold gets it down onto 1. No siphon just yet. He needs to buy time. No extra build, and he's facing Reason on the other side, but high ground disrupts the foe. Down they go. 3v3 here for the end game. Kami, Hadi, that's relatively loose because Eyedrop is down. Kadu, Striker, and Tisco, they could take it all.
And this is what the international scene has needed all weekend long, but no, Kami, Hadi, Kami's not going to be able to make it through. It's only Tisco, Striker, and Kadu left to deal with Hadi, but Hadi, he'll be forced to charge forward. He tries to head towards the high ground, but he just doesn't have the HP. Tisco just needs one more shot, and he finds it. That's going to be the first victory royale here this weekend for an international scene.
The Brazilian region is on top. They've showed up. They've reached the top 10 in the leaderboard with a whole nother trio, and this is their chance to shine bright. Frankie, we need to know what they're thinking.
We do, and I'm running over right now. This is the most exercise I've done all week, but it is worth it. Please, boys, on your feet. We've got Ricardo translating for us. Stand up, please. Striker, I need to come to you first. What was going through your mind during that final fight?
O que você estava pensando na tela, a última batalha?
A gente tinha que ganhar, né? Entrar no comeback, dar os pontos para chegar no top 10 aí e subir na tabela.
The only thought was they needed to win. They won the top 10, so that's the only that's everything they were talking.
And that makes a lot of sense because I don't think a Brazilian team has ever placed inside the top 10 at a Fortnite Global LAN before. Do you think this could be the year?
Você acha que esse é o ano que um time brasileiro pode ficar entre o top 10?
Tomara que os brasileiros consigam ficar, não só nós, sino também o King, Phaser, PH, que estão perto do top 10. Então, tomara que nós dois fiquem lá e seja história.
And I'm going to come over here, if that's okay. Sorry, Ricardo. Kadu, what has this experience been like for you? To get a victory royale, is this like the ultimate prize for you right now?
Como tem sido essa experiência para você ter esse vitória royal?
Bom, foi muito importante para nós, a gente precisava dessa vitória. Tava abaixo do top 15 e eu acho que com essa vitória agora a gente vai ganhar muita confiança para a última partida.
They needed that win. They were in top 15. That was very important here, and they can't wait for the last match.
Well, guys, we cannot wait for the last match after. It has been incredible to have you guys here. Well done for doing it for Brazil. Please, Leon, faites du bruit! Now, after this last game, we're going to be crowning a world champion. So tell your friends, they're not going to want to miss this.
I don't even know who that is. I think it's some Brazil team. I didn't even see Peterbot go down. Damn. That dude fucking sold on this one. That's crazy. Man.
Do you get scared? Or do you feel lost? I can smell fear. I've been there before. But you made it through the storm again. You did it on your own again. Goosebumps in your skin. Do you feel what I feel? I'm waiting on you to notice that you got what you wanted. We don't got time to cry right now. Only got time to focus. On a wait list. I was armed and dangerous. Take a shot, leave them faceless. I was armed and dangerous. On a whole different level. I can see what
My bad, Chad. I had someone knocking at my door. Woo! Who's it gonna be, man? Who y'all think's gonna win it all? Who y'all thinking, man? Who y'all got? I don't know. It's looking like Queasy's team's looking pretty far up there right now. Oh, what the hell? My bad, chat. I didn't know that was on there. Loaded. Notice. Oh. Come on, bitch. Play.
This game. So many developments. BR coming up, massive 16 elimination victory royale on LAN. Oh yeah, Brazil, that's what I like to see.
You love to see it, right? You love to see it. I always like it when the sort of smaller regions come out and, you know, come out strong in games. Of course, we didn't have as many big hitters in that game, right, in terms of the leaderboard, so perfect opportunity for them to do it. And the way they took height here, Kelly, was so good. Even towards the end, they weren't fighting against anyone any slouches. It was Cammy and Jari, right? There was a final sort of 3v2, so not easy for them whatsoever. They played really consistently, and something we haven't necessarily seen from them today. We saw it a little bit yesterday. I think they had a 5th and a 3rd in yesterday's games, so it's nice to see them finding that form right now.
I think they listened to our complaints. We were asking, why is no one fighting for high ground on day 1, and then day 2, everyone is fighting for high ground right now, and they see there's all this contention going on the high ground. Why don't we third party this right now? We are a full trio. We can see that those are wood builds. Players are going down. This is our chance to steal it away from them.
It looks so good. And again, you know, we might not be fighting for first place, but we are fighting for life-changing amounts of money. We're going to be sending ourselves straight up those standings. Now, of course, guys,
wow,
that last game, we've got to talk about the head-to-head.
Oh, I knew it.
Merstash and Swizzy versus Vanya, Merstash, and Pixie. I cannot believe Queasy just said, you know what? It's time. It's time, Mini. This is giving me flashbacks.
Yeah, this is giving me flashbacks too, right? Think back to the Invitational. Queasy and Veno landed on Cammy and Seti. It wasn't successful. Thinking back to last year's Globals, Queasy and Thomas, they had the option to land on Peterbottom Boys to try and disrupt them. They didn't make the decision to do so. Now they're taking matters into their own hands. And traditionally, typically, we see it in Game 12. In this game, we saw it in Game 11. They understand how strong Vanya's team is. I mean, they had a 16th in their first game, Vanya. Since then, and since, of course, this game, they hadn't placed outside of 6th. So they had to take them out and had to disrupt their game in any way they could, because if Vanya, Pixie, Marius, if they make it off spawn into the end game, they know they're going to get a good game out.
Although they did grow that lead just a little bit, it's a bit of a double-edged sword landing onto Vanya or going for Vanya, because Vanya knew the equation. They knew that they just had to run away. But when you have Queasy chasing you down, there's only so much you can do. But as they are being chased down, they're using their mats, they're using their heals. Everything that they need, everything that they have had to have a successful end game is now gone. So by taking out second place a little bit early, they themselves got a little bit low on mats, a little bit low in heals, and were not able to recover.
Can we just talk about how insane? Okay, this is gonna be super nerdy. Okay, super nerdy. When they fight and finally they take them out, they start to make this rotate up the mountain, right? Swizzy gets caught in the storm, makes it out with 1 HP, and you're thinking, okay, wait a minute, let's start looking at what they have. Queasy has nothing, no build. Swizzy has everything, 1 HP. Queasy turns out, throws the crash pad down to get Swizzy back in place. Are you kidding me? Queasy, that is the biggest brain play I've ever seen in my entire life. And guess what? We have a listen in from that moment.
Drop kind. Follow me, okay? Everyone have OXL,
Not
right?
the fucking iPad kid,
follow
Cuff.
me. We're gonna try something. But again, fizz. Okay, don't go in render of Canada. Okay? Yeah, no render of Canada. Go this way. Last one, right now. 30 already. 30, 60. 50, 50, 35. They probably don't have that much rights, by the way, as well.
We probably have more.
We can play white. Yeah. Yeah, you're taking our back. I shot, careful. Yeah. Took my roof. I'm dead, probably. I think I'm about to. I'm out. Okay. I'm dead. Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
One speed, dead. Nice. I got my finish.
Nice.
I got my finish. Play slow. 100. Let's go bunker.
Can we go bunker, you think?
The crazy thing about this moment, right? Just think about it. If we were to do this again, right? Even though they didn't get a victory royale, even though they didn't get top 5, they didn't get all this stuff, they delay Vanya. They go on, they slow things down. If we do this again, Mini Miner, imagine even if Queasy goes down, you're going to put Vanya in the same exact position to be in shambles for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but Vanya's team now maybe know that's coming, right? They could prepare for Queasy's team to do that and maybe change up their strategy, because if Vanya take out Queasy, that could be a very, very interesting end game, because like I mentioned, these guys don't miss a beat when it comes to the end game. So they're going to have a good game. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Can't believe this is it, the final game. We're going to find out who's going to be coming out on top, who's going to be the 2025 global champion. And for it to come down to mate on make hate, listen, I think the audience, although it's a bittersweet moment, they love to see their top teams in the top 2 spots.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you're an MA fan, you're happy, right? You're like, hey, one of our MA players are going to go on to be global champions, right? So exciting to see, but how does that last game end, right? Do we just take it to the off spawn again? Do we change things up? Do we play conservative? So many questions. In that game, though, something of note that happened, Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual finding themselves up on the high ground as well. With, you know, they've been quiet for both days, and finally there in game number 11, we see them on hype. We see them pushing teams, kind of what we've been used to seeing in majors before this point.
Something that we don't used to see, though, is Ritual carrying the team with 5 eliminations, with Cold and Peterbot being the fraggers only with 1. And of course, as they were able to control that high ground, they do what they do best, and they just spray the lobby below them, making sure that although they might be getting low on mats, they're still going to be.
But I got a theory about Peterbot's ass. I feel like that motherfucker got paid not to win this shit, bro. Cause dude, he hasn't gotten but one fucking kill the whole game. That's insane.
And I think the way that these guys have gone this weekend, it hasn't gone their way necessarily. But of course, in this particular endgame, they were able to pop off. Remember, a lot of our big names that we were seeing on the leaderboard, sort of top 5, I think, were down and out in that endgame. So we didn't see our sort of high team that we would expect to be in there. But still, a solid game from these guys is going to push them up in the standings.
It's so good, guys. I'm just thinking about this, man. I gotta see those standings one more time. This is a fight for first and second place right now. It's a fight for first. Everyone else is fighting for that third place spot. And again, you know, we might not be playing for first, but life-changing amounts of money, even flipping down to this second page, right? If we could break up into that top 10, this is gonna come down to the last game. Fortnite always be doing this to me. We start day 2, it's, oh man, it's gonna wrap it up. We know how it goes. Game 12 comes around, says, Zeke, hello. We're Fortnite, you know what we do best. We save it to the very last game.
Saving it for the last game is definitely something that we've seen time and time again, but to have all of our top teams, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and then 2nd place, going down early there makes me a bit nervous. I want to see all of these teams up and alive in the end game. I want it to be close. I want it to come down to the final moments, and that might just happen.
I hope so. I really hope so. I mean, I'm just thinking about sort of Vanya's position. What would they do in this situation? Is it for them to take it into their own hands? They try and outplay Queasy's team? Do they try and avoid what was going on? I know we had that in that listening right there. We listened to Queasy saying, we're going to have more whites than them. We can play the Storm, which is exactly why they won that fight. I was sort of watching it just here, and I remember saying, I was like, yeah, they're going to win the fight because they have all these whites, of course, from their drop spot. We broke it down at the beginning of the weekend, how powerful that drop spot is. They can get some, the slurp juices, of course, from there, all the splashes that they get from there, super, super valuable for them. And now, maybe we're going to see a little bit of a change of strategy for Vanya's team. Do they try and stack the whites, stay back in the Storm a little bit? Not too
damn,
sure
bro has no eyebrows.
They have to respond. They have to do something.
Or upper lip.
This push from Queasy.
You know what I want to see? I want to see that victory
dude with the glasses.
0-0 to
Damn,
0-1 to get practically a 5.9 average placement, but still just be so short on claiming that. Man, I mean,
bro's got mustache hair.
I mean,
bro's got mustache hair.
I wouldn't, if I were them, try and land on Queasy or anything crazy like that, because they are so good at endgame, right? We haven't seen the day 2 that we saw from day 1 of Queasy, right? We haven't seen them have that performance that we saw in day number 1. So it's almost safe to assume that they maybe not have that great performance in this final game like we saw. Maybe they could, it's Queasy, we don't know. But for Vanya's team, maybe they just play it out. They have to think about that in the back of their mind. What could Queasy do? It's gonna be so close. It all comes down to that.
And this is what they are fighting for, that beautiful trophy. But it is not just a physical object, it is an emotional one as well. Being able to come out on top, to be able to claim that in front of all of these incredible fans, that is a life-changing experience.
You talk about life-changing. I mean, Pix, Darm, and Demus, right? Going up against Seti, Yapko, and Panzer, and even Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts. 500 points out of Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts. Up to 512 in 3rd place, Pix, Darm, and Demus. This could very easy. I mean, guys, just look at this.
Yeah.
Right from 5th place all the way up to 3rd place. I cannot stress this enough. This is life-changing amounts of money. The game isn't over. Even if we're excited to see the 1st place team come out and win, there is still so much we are playing for. Changing a single placement, a single elimination, a single placement point could be the difference.
Yeah, it really could. And a team that's no strangers to that, of course, is Kami, Chari, and iDrop. I mean, these guys had a really nice 2nd place right here. Exactly what we'd expect from this trio, sort of playing low ground really, really well. They did actually end up as a duo as well. It was iDrop, I think, that ended up going down, but they played it to perfection. I think they did move up a couple of places in the leaderboard as well here. So a really nice, solid performance from them. Again, we just saw the prize pool breakdown. They're not going to be getting 1st place this weekend, but every single placement counts towards such a huge chunk of that prize pool.
And Cam and Kari doing what they do best, launching up, trying to take high ground as a solo, as a duo. But of course, it did not go their way. It did go to the way of the Brazilian trio right there. But you do have to give props to them making that effort, going for the 2v3.
I mean, Pixstar and Demus as well, that you mentioned it right there. This is, they're not used to the stage. It's not their environment, right? This is a team that's sort of on the come up throughout the entire year. They've been putting incredible performances, and every single time we go into a major, you know, they had an amazing major number 1, and we were like, oh, this is a new team coming into the grand finals, and you know, how we expect them to do. People didn't necessarily have them up there. Then they were sort of favorites coming into major 2 and 3, and then they were sort of, you know, there were a lot of questions again. Can they do it on the global stage? Is it possible for them to continue this momentum? And it just seems like for that team, every single time a question's asked of them, they keep delivering, and they're doing it here today.
To end in that third place, you saw that prize money.
Yeah.
You saw that prize money. But again, remember, Kanata, Rapid Bulls in that fifth place, only 12 points behind. So for these top 5 from third down to fifth, we're kind of fighting each other, right? We know what's happening at the top.
Can I say how much I love to see Kanata's trio in this position all year long? A lot of people have just kind of been ignoring them because the story of NAC has been, oh, is it going to be Poyo or is it going to be Peterbot? Maybe Clix can finally win a victory royale, and Kanata has just kind of fallen by the wayside. That was until this most recent season where he has just been the most consistent team in NA time and time again, and then finally in week 3 winning that Div Cup, and he was so confident. I actually got to talk to him right before day 1. He's like, who do you think's winning? And I was like, well, who won the last week of the last week of tournaments? And he's like, it's me. And you know, every single time he is just so confident, and I think that really brings so much to the stage to even go down, have like a rough end of day 1, and he just doesn't let that affect him.
Yeah,
it's so crazy, man. I just, once again, here we are in getting ready for that last game. My heart is pounding. I'm sure you guys at home are going crazy as well. What are we hoping to see? All right, putting you on the spot.
Okay.
Final game. Give me your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations for this game.
You know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see Vanya's team try and land on Queasy. Queasy's team try and land on Vanya. And we end up just having a crazy end game where they're both fighting for height, and it's like a full-on, like the excitement takes it through to the entire game. It'd be so, so exciting. That's what I'd want to see. I don't know what will happen though.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna continue off of that.
Okay.
They both switch drop spots. They both make it to the end game. Queasy on high ground, Vanya on low ground. 3v3, final moment of the game to win it all.
Oh my gosh, you guys have got me hyped. I mean, Leon, you guys have got to be feeling this, right? This has been so incredible to hear all of you in the stadium going crazy, getting excited with us, cheering, crying, even booing. I mean, guys, this is such an amazing time. It is so, so good. I'm just so thankful we... I'm sorry, guys. This is hot off the presses. I need Benji right now. I need the translator. Guys, this is plans for 2026. Benji, put the headset on.
What?
Oh my gosh.
What's happening?
Hold up.
This is for you. This is hot off the presses. This is what is coming for 2026. We're going back to duos, Benji.
Oh my gosh! Les gars, l'année prochaine, ça sera une saison FNCS en duo!
This is new FNCS mid-season LAN?
Oh my gosh! Les amis, à mi-parcours, il y aura une LAN de milieu de saison. Pareil pour les FNCS duo. Une LAN, les gars, une LAN.
Reload Elite Series? I don't even know what that means!
Oh my gosh! Une LAN, il y aura aussi une LAN, les gars, en recharge. Le mode recharge, série élite. Pareil, ça sera en milieu de saison. On a déjà 2 LAN de prévues.
$1 million mobile series?
Mobile tournament. Oh my gosh, les gars, un tournoi à $1 million sur mobile.
Okay. Ranked 2.0.
Yeah.
Ranked 2.0?
The fuck is that?
Les gars, il va y avoir un nouveau classé. Incroyable, un nouveau classé, Zik.
We're getting another Pro-Am.
Un nouveau Pro-Am aussi, regardez, tout en bas. Le Pro-Am, vous connaissez, il y en aura un aussi en 2026.
Benji.
Yes, the most.
The LANs are returning to Europe.
Les gars, on va parler français. On parle français. La LAN sera de retour en Europe. Il faut qu'on fasse en sorte que Epic choisisse la France. Epic Games, please, choice is France.
Oh my gosh. My heart was already pounding. I'm shaking right now. 2026. That is what is coming next year. You saw it. It is here. They apparently went huge. Guys, it is that time. Game number 12 is ready, so let's take a moment and make sure we are too.
Leon! The finish line is approaching once more, but who will cross it first? The world has heard your noise all weekend long, but you must be louder than you have ever been before. This game is where errors come to an end and new ones are born. This is the last chance to forge legacies. This is where champions are crowned. So Leon, I've got 3 words for you. Are you ready?
Damn! Goodbye. Hey. Goodbye. Hey. La 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 la. La 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 la. Hey. Hey hey hey. Goodbye.
It's all come down to this. Jacob, the final battle bus of the weekend is upon us. Legacies will be forged here. Levin's already called it out. I know that there's so much action that's taking place with some of these off-spawn contests, but there's only 2 teams that everybody wants to see right now. That's Queasy, Swizzy, and Mustache. Vanya Boo Boo, Pixie, where are they at? Will they clash yet again?
Not too soon. Business as usual on the north side of the map, with almost a 50+ point lead for Queasy, Swizzy, and Mustache. Nothing changes for them. They don't even need to necessarily win this game. They just need to continue to outscore Pixie, Marius, and Vanya, who are also uncontested at the OXR HQ. And the most insane thing about this all is it was Queasy in that last game that ended Marius, Vanya, and Pixie's run. They not only pushed over to their side of the map, they chased them down and sent them back to the lobby.
Completely intercepted, completely ruined Vanya's game plan for his team. But Vico, a little bit of off-spawn domination taking place here. He's got a big elimination onto Yuma. Blixie and Benno are not with him though. Coyota still looking to chase Vico out. And Vico nearly gets the better end of that trade, but he will fall.
Bro just crashed out.
Are out of the running, but for Coyota and Rise, there's still a lot of heavy lifting to be done.
Asia on top. A battle throughout 12 games, and as the dust settled, they will be the last ones laughing and immediately set their eyes on the 2 different teams to try to continue to accumulate that early game surge. But they have to be careful. His teammate is on the other side, and they are still down Yuma. They have to figure out a way to backtrack, but they have no time. Pablo, Gino, they're already trying to taste down Asia's best.
Hello? Can't really do much of anything from this position. He's just got to stay side by side to Hero currently, but Gino, Pablo, and Prodoxy, they've already got 3 eliminations on Gino alone. Prodoxy still keeping an open eye out for where Halal is headed next. Hero and glad to be far away from Gino, Pablo, and Prodoxy, but these guys could be the real menaces of this lobby. They're just going to continue to try and get a clean sweep for everyone that comes into their path of fire here. Prodoxy and Pablo really distributing some pain right now, and Hero, he just doesn't have anything to try and prevent himself from being taken out. Off-ball mix and focus. They took notice of what was going down, though. They decided to come crashing down on top of Gino, Pablo, and Prodoxy, but Jacob, this is a box fight that I don't know if Gino's necessarily prepared to take it up, but he's got so many splashes. He'll be back to full HP in no time.
And this is a team right now to start the game. I know they have 411 points, but they were at 399. Chap, Savage, and Reason, 403 above them. I dropped Hadi and Cammy, 434, and then even Ping Walks and Malibu at 441. If they continue to play in this pace, get these eliminations, and make it deep into the end game, they can overtake some teams on their way up the top of the leaderboard. For Pride, Gory, and line in their pockets with that much more money, what they came for, as Prodoxy continues to move forward, not slowing down, and Havad is going to go down.
And Prodoxy's kind of been calling it out, even in the events leading up to this weekend. We know that we're contested. We know it's going to be tough. Winning likely out of the question for that trio, but they can still put on a strong performance to see what more prizing they can possibly secure.
Setiap, Go Panzer, 506, only 6 points shy of Pix, Darm, and Demas. It was honestly not too far away from their current drop spot, but you're seeing how stacked the leaderboard is when you kind of drop down outside of that top 2, or even top 3, 4 for that matter. So it's going to take a good amount of eliminations if some of these teams on the outside wants to punch into the top 5, but better late than never could be the final opportunity that they have to continue to look around the map.
Hey.
A lot of the same strategies going down as some of our previous games.
Haven't seen a whole lot of Reason and Chap. Mr. Savage trying to take up a surge-based position, though, up against Swizzy, Queasy, and Merstache. Whether or not this actually pans out in their favor is yet to be determined, but Chap, Mr. Savage, Reason definitely have had their highlight moments throughout this tourney.
Yeah, a team that's definitely had their ups and downs, and still talk about their story making it here. Barely almost missing out on a chance at the grand finals, but it was a 1-point differential. They made it in. All they needed was a shot. 2 points. They made it in to qualify for the global championship, and now Savage is on the cusp of a potential top 5 if he can perform well with some eliminations in this game. King Phaser, PH Sin. They faltered, they fell out of the top 10, but they're just one placing down inside of that top 11.
Oh no! Pixie, Vanya, Marius, do they even have any idea of the intention that lies behind Ryu, Snowy, and Sod? They're looking to play massive spoiler here at OXR headquarters. If they catch Pixie and Vanya,
why are they alive
Marius
like that?
Racing across
They look
overhead.
weird, bro.
Right now, they're just trying to lock in their surge. They're not really anticipating anybody to be nearby. And even with Vanya overhead, they're so preoccupied with just trading out these bloom battles. Marius, he's split apart from the rest. Ryu, Snowy, Sod, a singular 3-2-1 could be the difference here. Is Marius going to be able to stay strong?
You see, they don't want to give up their position. We saw Clicks, Higgs, and Yamso try to do the same thing to Kanata, looking all around. Marius does not even know, and you can see his loadout. He's the one for his team that's getting all of that extra material to replenish what they use for that surge phase. He's getting all of those extra heals to consolidate him inside of their tower, but he is also the one that is exposing himself the most. Snowy, Sod, Ryu, they were able to close the distance and get inside of the OXR HQ.
We've got another perspective. Malibuga, Ping, and Walks here at Kappa Kappa Factory. They are just chasing down Pix, Darm, and Demas. They don't want to allow these guys the opportunity to try and maintain their position within the top 5. Malibuga, Ping, and Walks going on to the aggressive forefront here, but it's Ping who's opening up big shots here onto Demas, forcing him to pull further back inside
Holy
the box
fuck.
here. Malibuga, Ping from a separate direction. Demas, Darm, Pix, they're trying to keep the hopes alive for themselves. Rookies of the year, essentially, Jacob, but they still have to break through these veterans.
Malibuka's using his experience not to get caught off guard in these situations, just trying to spray down a couple of their piece control, get them to expose themselves. But right now, it is going to be a 3v3, but you see at the bottom of your mini-map, 2 teams from the Kappa Kappa Factory that could be looking for Surge to try to interrupt this one as Demas continues to scramble around. Oh no, 17 HP, 2 builds left. Walks continues to put down the pressure. Good thing for him. I do believe it was Darm reunited in the same box trying to hold the covers, but that leaves out Pix to go down. They isolated the 1v1. Malibuka, Pings, and Walks are hunting down 3rd place.
Darm, Demas, and Pix might be phenomenal fighters, but Malibuka, Ping, and Walks simply having the material counts in their favor. They've completely shut off Darm's entrance back towards Demas. Malibuka trying to see if he can make that wing flank approach. Malibuka, though, big tag, but an even bigger one on the Darm. Darm's gonna be put down.
Damn! Damn, that crowd's going crazy.
It definitely is with how tight that leaderboard is. Pick Darman Demas. I just want to give him a huge pat on the back from underdogs to top dogs. These guys looking like a serious threat. Vanya, Pixie, and Marius. We saw that team floating around the OXR HQ. They did not get any opportunity to pounce onto Marius, so they're going to survive and live to tell the tale and hopefully shoot up that leaderboard.
I did see Vanya at the very last moment, though. He was already setting up for the pre-edit, so if Snowy, Brad, and Ryu aren't careful, they're going to find themselves getting caught completely off guard. Seti, he might not be a fan favorite this weekend, but he's still looking to try and take over.
Bro just got booed.
Hottie. It's teammates, or former teammates, I should say, just looking to gauge who really got the better end of the deal.
Kind of decisions, crash pads, launch pads. And with Seti, Yapko, and Panzer right in front, that is the team currently in 4th place, 506 points, just shy of getting into another big money spot of the top 3. Swizzy, Mustache, Queasy, even with the zone pulling so far towards the south, they know it's very, very important for them to get their Storm Surge first, and then they throw one of those upgraded launch pads down, they hit the Flowberry Fizz, and they cover over 1,000 meters quickly, but as we tune in, Cold is already down. Peterbot on the back foot, but it's actually Ritual that fell. Him and Cold, the 2 best attackers in all of NA, have a chance to fight back. Fuka, Watts, and Pings on the other side. Seti, Panzer, they're in the mix as well, and one more team towards the north.
And a sandwich between some of EU's best and Peterbot Cold. They know what kind of a pickle they're truly in. Peterbot's got a couple of pre-edits set up already, but he knows he just needs to escape. Every dog has his day, and this one, he doesn't want to find himself losing the bone that was thrown him in the last lobby because they got a better placement than what they'd expected.
But uh-oh, obviously they're gonna try to crash pad up. They just dodged disaster somehow. Peterbot, he gets the audio cue. Great damage towards the backside, just a sliver of HP remaining, but you see them kind of second guessing the decision. They don't know exactly who that is hiding there. So them being 2 versus the 3, they have to figure out if they want to push this or not, but a good opening opportunity with damage. They're creeping closer and closer.
Whether the crowd likes it or not, Peterbot and Cold, Ritual, they've actually had a pretty incredible day 2 performance, Jacob. They have completely leapfrogged their way up the leaderboard, and they're clearly still intent on just trying to see how far they can really go. They've gotten so much prizing from NAC throughout the entirety of this year, but now on the global stage, Peterbot and Cold as a duo, they might still be looking to bring Ritual back into this one.
Yeah, you gotta think that they do have that reboot card. They're kind of beelining it over towards Dystopia, but they have to be careful. Bakapars and Pump are already there trying to get scraps. They go back on over to Rangers Ruin. Verdoxy, Pablo, Gino. They got the boss down. The queen is no more, and you're seeing what that does. Not only do they get that OXR rank, but multiple slurp juices, splashes that they can use. They already have 419 points. They can only go up from here.
But we're looking at one of the only teams in this lobby that's truly capable of finding those huge elimination wins. And still, Jacob, this is one of the best loot loadouts that we have seen Verdoxy working with. He even admitted to it yesterday on socials. He's like, look what happens when I finally get a loadout to work with. And again, even though it's the last lobby, they have 0 hopes of slowing down here.
And every placing down that leaderboard just gets more and more money, I should say upside. You got 450,000 for first place, 300,000 for second, 225,000 for third, and that's just kind of a showing of like every placing you go up, even if you might not be able to win, could be a life-changing amount of money. As Peterbot's gonna go down to Victor V yet again. Victor V, that's like his 2nd time or even more in this tournament, taking down Pete himself, even with Ritual back, a sliver of HP, forcing out the splashes. Cold and him have to reunite and figure out a way to get their teammate back.
Victor V might be the real Peterbot counter. Now that he's on 0 ping, people forget Victor V, when he's playing on West, he's tackling on 60 ping, so now we're getting to watch a an elite young fragger on the come up.
Yo, Phoenix with the follow. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Because even though the weekend hasn't necessarily shaped up to the position they wanted to be in, they've still got a lot of fight left in them.
Who y'all think is gonna win, chat? Who's winning?
Basically taking himself out. The full trio looking to run him down. They do have the chance, though. We saw Cold, we saw Ritual go back to Dystopia. Does he go?
Bro just died to fall damage, bro. Oh my god.
Just outside of Rangers Ruin and Foxy.
Nah, that's crazy. Bro, Peterbot just died to fall damage. Oh my god.
And they have time here to let
this is it. This is the last game too. He's out. Oh my god. That's crazy.
Victor V just picking up where he left off. Unfortunately, Ritual just not healthy enough to stay on both of his feet. He's just going to be tackled. It's only Cold left alive from that trio, and now Victor V, he'll have the opportunity to heal, but not only that, 4 eliminations, it's so much surge, and Jacob, realistically, Epic, he's trying to help make the calls alongside Paper. They still want to keep pushing forward, but Ryu, he's going to bring down Epic Will. Victor V now looking to give a little bit of backup here to a support player, but Victor V, he's stuck in a 1 versus 2 situation. They're trying to close in onto the primary fragger here, but Victor V, Pop's got to be going crazy, watching his son pop off in the crowd.
Without any builds, I'm not too worried. He does have that medallion, the double jump. It also negates fall damage as he quickly reunites with Paper on the other side. That's what they're going to start thinking about, how many builds that they have, what do they need to get, but they don't have time. They're immediately getting jumped on 1v3, multiple angles. Victor V still making plays, slides out of those builds. Paper still stuck. He's still trying to figure out an answer to the onslaught that's going his way. He continues to fight back.
Bro, imagine how loud that fucking crowd is in their ears, bro. That's the crowd chanting that. Whoa, that's a crowd singing, bro. Imagine that in your ears while you're trying to focus, bro. Damn. Nah, bro.
Gino, Pablo, and Fradoxy. Look at the elimination. Jacob already at 8. They have one goal in sight, and that is to jump, force their way into the top 5.
There's only one way to get some points in this game.
Hey, Click is still up.
The teams above you on that leaderboard to go down early. The level of competition inside of the top 10, I feel like, has never been higher. So you have to start to take matters into your own hands. And this is one of those teams, for Doxy specifically, that will play to win. He will make or break himself. He's not going to go down with at least trying. And that's how they found those 8 eliminations. But Clicks and Higgs, you see them lurking around, trying to grab those extra bandages, the heals. This is going to be a 2-tick zone.
Clicks, Higgs, they might just be looking to try and play for the reboot. They have no idea that Chino, Pablo, and Fradoxy have already...
Oh my god.
They are creeping up on them.
Oh fuck.
Higgs, Clicks, they're just so exposed.
They're dead, bro.
Holding my
They're
breath
so
watching
dead.
this, Jacob,
They're
because
so
I know it's only a matter of
dead.
time for 3, 2, 1 comes through, but Higgs,
No!
but it's just not enough. Higgs is gonna be knocked, Clicks scattered, left to try and fend for himself.
He's
But with
dead.
3 healthy players out of EU's powerhouse, they'll be put down, and Clicks eliminated. Chino, Pablo, and Fradoxy hit their first double digit.
This might be game 12.
He's out of here.
Out of gas just yet. When it comes to eliminations, Taco,
Guys, Clicks is dead. He's gone. Peterbot and Clicks, they're out of it completely. They're dead.
Points yet. They're shooting up the leaderboard faster than ever. I talked about the prize money differential, and that's exactly what they're after. Canada, Rapid, and Bolts, the same thing for them. To start the game, they were in about 5th place, but hot on their heels. There's so many teams trying to get aggressive to get those points. See in the distance, 2nd place, Vanya, Marius, and Pixie. Not going for the high ground just yet. 6th zone, more than half of the game left still to play.
This is where players really have to test their composure the mental fortitude, the emotional control. It's so easy to want to hit the autopilot if you're in Queasy's position. You start to see the lights. You start to think that could be us, our name. The crowd is chanting, but the same case scenario for Vanya as well. They're still looking to try and overtake first place. And if Verstash, Swizzy, and Queasy get lobby focused, that could be the ultimate difference maker. But instead, Swizzy fires back. It's going to be a takedown. The elimination couldn't have come at a better time.
And that's 4 more points for them, inching themselves closer and closer to it being mathematically impossible for anybody to catch up. But again, no placement points just yet. That can truly shake things up, especially since they have a max pull across the map and a few teams trying to make and mirror that same rotation. First comes the crash pad, then the Flowberry Fizz, and they can continue that rotation until they make the zone. But Taco, more than half of this zone is over open water.
Not only that, but Swizzy, Queasy, and Verstash, they are white line crash padding straight towards the next zone. The fact that nobody has taken a shot at them along the way, it's a bold maneuver, but it pans out heavily in their favor, and they're continuing to scale their way down. We saw Ritual get eliminated yet again. Sasser striking for some teams in front of Queasy, but better still, Seti, Panzer, and Yapko. They've still got a lot to settle here in this lobby. They find another elimination onto Adapter. Valor already taken care of by Visuals and a Minish, but Braids on the other side of these walls. Seti can't continue pressing forward. They're stuck inside their own build. That is until Yapko finds the elimination onto Visuals.
Yeah, much needed elimination as well. They were only 8 damage above the threshold. That's not a feeling of comfortability at all. Now they go for 300, but dropping back down low, that just goes to show how active this lobby actually is. But they continue to steamroll. Verstash, Swizzy, and Queasy find their 3rd elimination of the game, taking down NA West.
And you know that Vanya thinks the Amadius, they can see it all in the elimination feed. 3 additional elims for Swizzy, Verstash, and Queasy. They have so much ground to cover just from placement points alone, and the elims are doing them no favors whatsoever. But Verstash, Swizzy, it's like Queasy told them, just be off the leash, do whatever you want, just find those eliminations.
Up there it goes, School. Trying to drop down low. He's the first one to get knocked. Sauko followed in that trend. He was trying to be a hero, but ends up a 0, leaving Arc all by himself. That's a ton of pressure for one of the youngest, one of the most aggressive players on his region, but active surge for Pars, Pump, and Faka.
Yo, what's up, guys? If y'all are new, man, hit that follow button. I appreciate it, guys.
If they have high ground, if they can't utilize it, and nobody's giving them any peaks, so they're going to go ahead and utilize that Flowberry Fizz to get a triple heal going out.
They're stuck looking to heal instead of being able to look for tags. Malabuka, Watts, and Ping put on so much pressure, but now that they've made their rotation,
guys, this is the final match. Final match. Peterbot and Clicks are already dead.
And now the medkit comes out. Vodka doesn't have anything to work with. It's just those couple of crash pads. He might as well leave them somewhere for his teammates to pick up. But Pars, just looking at this loadout, Jacob, he's got barely anything to work with.
0 ammo in his AR. It's literally just 19 shots in that Wrecker revolver. Luckily for him, he at the bare minimum has Pump on his team. But underneath, Sharks in the ocean. They're ready to take a bite out of NA West, but Malabuka's trying to beat him first. They crash pad towards the high ground, and they solidify it while Surge reactivates. Down goes Pump. Pars is now officially on the clock, which runs out, and he's out of the game for good.
But these audio cues aren't doing Malabuka's team any favors, because Prodoxy, Chino, Pablo directly underneath, more than happy to see if they can close in. They knew that there were weakened trios directly above them, but they just want to see how bad off are they really. They're still trailing underneath, but Wax, Malabuka attempting to hold height. They might only be a duo, Jacob, but they have so much surge.
62 points. That's the difference between first and second place. and its time is truly running out. They have to make sure Queasy, Mustache, and Swizzy somehow go down outside of the top 8 as they continue to move through. It's becoming more and more impossible. There's 600 plus damage above the threshold. They're looking down to the backside of the zone, trying to figure out where the weakness is for any of these trios trying to rotate in. Even with Kanata down below, they're lurking. No visual audios, but if you look at the sky, that's Marius, Vanya, and Pixie, but they lose Vanya throughout this mix. They're on that middle ground where all the chaos ensues.
Vanya just barely managing to start to get his life back up to a healthy level. Swizzy, Mustache, Queasy though, they see the high ground. They're starting to go for the chop. Malabuka gonna be forced to drop eventually, but can Malabuka even get down in the first place? I don't think so. He's a victim of the lobby now. Swizzy, Queasy, they don't hesitate. They're immediately surging upwards. They know height domination is where the thrill will be tested.
On the high ground right now, they're getting challenged, but they're fighting for it all. It's Pixie, it's Marius, and Vanya. If they want the win, this is the moment right here. Swizzy goes down. Mustache has fallen. It is all up to Queasy and Taco. There are more than enough points still left on the board for them to overtake the first place spot, but they have to survive. Vanya goes down. Marius is gonna have to pop that slurp juice and reunite with Pixie.
But where's Queasy? Pixie and Marius, they're so incredibly low. They're not gonna be able to save Vanya. They'll at least get everything that he had to offer at the final moments. But Marius, Pixie, as a duo, they've got to find Queasy. They don't know where he's gone off to. Seti in the low ground. If Marius and Pixie aren't careful, they might run smack dab into the center of where all the congestion is building at. But they're crash padding up. They're trying to get back on the height. They know what is in front of them, and they want to take it by force.
They already have second place locked in. It's all or nothing.
Woo!
Marius is now down as well. Pixie with the pressure on his shoulders.
Oh my god, they might win it, bro.
They are 50 points shy.
Oh my god. Oh!
Queasy and Swizzy have done it.
Oh my god, bro. Wow, bro.
Has finally overcome. The GOAT debate has been settled. He is the GOAT of Fortnite when it comes to IGL.
Damn, Queasy won that bitch, baby.
With them, it's Swizzy and Mustache.
But there's still hundreds of thousands of dollars split between these teams still left alive. A good chunk of them
That's
at
wild.
the top of the leaderboard, including Pablo, who's trying to have that solo run, but that one gets ended and rather quickly as he was by himself. That was Seti and Yapko. They're one of 3 teams left alive. Panzer's trying to move in, 20 HP. He's quickly running out of builds. Seti as well, but he's gonna go out. Cammy, his invitational partner, has ended again. He ends his show. He said, no, you will not cast me. You will not take my money, as Cooper and Curly are still down below. 2v3 situation, 3v1. I drop Dari and Cammy win the final game of the day.
What an impossibly crazy finish. Nobody could have possibly anticipated that it would all come down to this final match in day 1. We saw Queasy, Swizzy, and Mustache leading the charge. They had such a monumental lead over the entirety of the lobby, but it still all came down to the wire. They knew it was a marathon from the get-go.
Let's fucking go, bro. Let's go.
As your 2025 global champions.
A year-long journey just to get to this point. 12 games, almost 700 points, 3 victory royales. They have done it.
It almost seems as if it hasn't even fully keyed in yet. Mustache and Swizzy, they're letting everyone here in Leo know. It's Gentlemates. It's Twisted Queasy bringing home the title. Fellas, lift that trophy high.
Aujourd'hui et pour l'éternité, vos champions, Queasy, Mustache and Swizzy!
celebrate every grand. We should have won every grand, but now this is the day when we won.
You might not have won an FNCS major final in 2025, but that doesn't matter right now. You are the best team in the world. Queasy, you are the greatest IGL Fortnite has ever seen. Can you believe it?
I mean, after today's performance, I don't know about that, but I mean, we pulled through, we got it, so that's all that matters.
Well, talk to me about today. Yesterday, we were all saying this trophy was surely yours. But this morning, those first 3 games, they didn't go your way. Did you think you were going to have to settle for second place again?
No, I was playing only for first. That's why we did what we did in the game 11, and I mean, shout out to them. Because we went into this like thinking like 99% we're gonna win, and it pushed it to the last game. So shout out to Vanix Trio. Like, I don't even know, they did amazing.
Guys, I'm with Sweezy. Je peux pas vous le dire autrement. Sweezy a les larmes aux yeux. Sweezy est ému. Regardez, Sweezy, I saw the real tears in your eyes. How do you feel, Sweezy?
I feel amazing. Last year I couldn't play with my duo. Now I'm here and I win.
Cette année c'était la bonne pour lui, enfin la bonne. Il est tellement ému, Sweezy. Good luck for the future.
Guys, I have to ask, what makes this a world-beating team?
Them too, just fragging ability. I mean, they solo clutched the game 11 with 2v3. I don't know. I try to do my best. Today, I feel like I underperformed by a lot, but they pulled through and they got me the win.
Well, you're not going to think about that anymore because you guys have a trophy to lift. Guys, please take your position. To Le Mans, please, one more time, give it up for your 2025 Fortnite Global Champions. It's Queasy, Swizzy, and Moustache!
I cannot believe it. In this moment, your global champions, Queasy, Swizzy, Moustache, taking it all the way to game number 12. To think, Kelly, at the beginning of this year, this trio formed, and we thought, what the heck are you talking about? This sounds like a high-caliber trio. To qualify, to bring it here, to push everyone else on land to their very limits, and now to walk away. Global champions. Guys, how does it feel? Swizzy, I want to start with you, bro. Any time that you guys have performed well, and the camera's been on you, you feel like a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. Those emotions flood through you, smile big. How does this moment feel right now?
It feels amazing. I think I did the most mentality in our team. Like, I saw their face our first game, and they say like, guys, lock in.
Lock in. Dude, and you said yourself, right, the fact that past times you've not been able to play with your actual teammates. The moment you get to play with your actual trio, you win the global championship.
Yeah.
Queasy, going all the way back to the Invitational, so close to claiming that first place spot, but you walk away in second. Last year, this same situation happened, and finally, you claim your rightful spot as a global champion. What has that journey been like starting all the way back in 2022?
I don't even know. I mean, from Invitational, literally like before game 12, I said, guys, please, let's not make it the same thing again. And I mean, we did it finally, so it's a crazy feeling.
Moustache, brother, I mean, you've been hearing it for 2 days now. They see you on screen, this crowd goes crazy. Did that push you forward? Did that make you more nervous in any way?
Not gonna lie, I want to thank everyone who came here for supporting us, and because it meant so much for us, I think. It gave me confidence, at least the first day. So yeah, I want to thank you everyone who came here and supported us.
All right, we got to talk about essentially the winning moment for you guys in Game 11. I want to know what was going through the comms, whose idea was it, and how were you able to execute it?
Basically, half break, we went to VOD review, we watched zones, we were figuring out, because day one, our game plan was to get metal in bunkers. Day two, the bunkers were gone. 2 of the games we ran for it, they got taken before we could get there and kind of messed up our game. And after I watched the VODs, we were supposed to go Foxy, but I said if we pose the same, I saw Vanya tanking like Medmis and Storm and then padding, so I try to like go towards him and wait for him to pad and kill him out the air. That was the plan, but yeah.
I mean, obviously it worked out in your favor going for second place right there. Queasy, that is why you are regarded as one of the best IGLs in the world.
I mean, and look, Queasy, I don't know why you're down on yourself right now. I mean, Swizzy Merstash, this guy's been your IGL, and he's not giving himself the props that he rightfully has earned. I saw you walk up to that trophy and shed a tear. I saw you smile big when you lifted it. Brother, you're a global champion, and not only that, you've got EU their first global championship title right here, right now. Leon, make some noise for Swizzy Queasy Merstash! Forever in history, you guys have made a moment in Fortnite. Thank you guys so much. We're gonna let you guys go. Take this trophy, get out of here, go celebrate global champions. Congratulations again. You can leave your headsets here. Get out of here, guys. Come on, Leo, make some more noise!
Congratulations, come here. Oh my God. Good question. Good job, you guys.
Head that way right there. Yo, congrats, Queasy. Man, I cannot believe it. I cannot believe, once again, Fortnite does it, Kelly. Game number 12, pushed to the absolute brink. It was won in game number 11, right? Taking it as far to landing on Vanya and basically putting them in a situation, hey, because you know, you think about it, right? Minnie, you think about, okay, maybe game 12 is that time. But no, they're one step ahead. Game 11. Let's push them to the very brink, game 11, because that gives us game 12 as a buffer. And because of that, Minnie, they are now global champions.
Incredible stuff. Absolutely incredible stuff. Think back to Queasy, Chapter 2, Season 6, FNCS win. His first FNCS win. Then, of course, we go to the Invitational, the all-important moment that we remember from that time. Second place in that tournament. Made a big play, didn't work out. Then he goes on to get 6 out of 12 wins in Grand Finals with Vino. A record-breaking performance. And then last year with Thomas HT coming so close to taking home the title. He has done it. And I couldn't be more happy for him. He deserves it so much. And it's the final thing ticked off on his list. He hasn't got the LAN win yet, Kelly. But now, he's finally done.
I mean, this is a story that hasn't even just been building up from the start of this year. It's been building up since the start of Fortnite. Yep. And there is no person better to finally grab that global champion than Queasy. Everyone, even before day one, before they got the back-to-back victory royales, said that Queasy is the best LAN player in the world. Yep. And he said, let me make honest people out of everyone that is believing in me. And we got to talk to so many people saying, who do you think has to win it all? And Queasy's name was brought up time and time again.
I mean, and again, Queasy, when you wake up tomorrow and you start to doubt yourself, look yourself in the mirror and think, I am a global champion. And let that doubt fade away forever, brother. You guys have done something incredible here. You have made this crowd roar. If there are any M8 fans, you know they're also going crazy. The fact M8 came out in that #1 spot. But don't forget, other players, other trios were fighting for that prize money. Let's take a look how things ended. We saw there early on in the game, Pixie fell, but in the end there, it looks like Panzer, Seti, Japko come out in third place. I kept saying, Kanata, now's the moment, but Seti said, hold on. We're gonna make sure that Globals 2025 is dominated by EU.
Yeah, what a performance from Seti, Panzer, and Yapko. Really, really great. They played the meta really well all weekend. Fixed a couple of issues that they might have had. You know, we were looking at them this weekend. They were contested. A lot of people had them written off. But no, they put on an absolute display of excellence all weekend, and really happy for them to get third there.
Listen, as the NA representative on this desk, I do have to give a shout out to Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts holding it strong in 5th place for North America. And a lot of people said, would you have expected Kanata to be the one to represent NA on top? And I say every time, yes! He is one of the best players in the world, the only player in the world to go to every single grand finals. To see him represent his region like that, it just makes me so happy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, NA, we're gonna have to come together. Okay, group huddle after this, because 2026, we know we're making a return to Europe. We're gonna need to show up there, but it's fine. EU, you guys can have one. That's fine. We still have 2 at the end of the day. My friends, final kind of closing thoughts after the weekend before we kind of start wrapping up and saying goodbye.
I mean, what a weekend overall. The atmosphere here has been absolutely electric. All the fans here have put on an incredible display themselves, right? Let alone the players on that stage. Every single one of them put everything into preparing for this event. Of course, playing this weekend as well in front of a crowd, which at times wasn't necessarily as positive towards some of the players, but they showed grit, they showed determination, and they showed that they can pull through. And this, I think, has been my favorite globals.
100%. There is so many moving pieces that go into a global championships. Beyond the players, beyond us, there is just so many people involved that want to make sure that we bring the best show possible. And I think we did that this weekend. And a lot of that is due to the incredible fans that we had supporting, making sure that they made so much noise, because they know that the global championships only happens one time a year. So if it's gonna happen now, we're gonna make some noise.
Oh man, yeah, thank you so much, Leon, for all your love and support. You guys have truly made this something special. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we start getting ready to say goodbye, let's get the rest of the crew in here. And of course, you know I want to get the crew, the French commentators who kind of helped bring this whole thing to life in venue. Fortnite fam, thank you so much. A big thank you to the players. A couple things before we go. Don't forget double XP going on until Monday. Hop in, get yourself all that XP. Make sure you play. So much to play for. You heard the news for 2026. It's about to be crazy. But as always, until then, we love you. Keep yourself safe. And we'll see you on that battle bus.
Beep, beep.
Well then. What'd y'all think, guys? Did y'all think Quazu was gonna win? Honestly, I kinda did, bro. I wanted Peterbot to win, but that motherfucker played so bad, dude. I don't know what happened, dude. Honestly, I really don't. I don't know what Peterbot was doing that whole first day and like half of the second day. He only started locking in on like the last 3 games, bro. That's crazy. I don't know, bro. That's wild. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for the stream today. I appreciate y'all, all the follows, everybody stopping by, man, enjoying the championship with me. That being said, guys, this has been DJX Gaming. Out, baby. Damn. Sheesh. They definitely cooked up right there. Like cooked up there, bud.
Come visit McDonald's.
Right wrist, Wake up from a dream is my everything I need. Her more than anything is my tranquility. I can't go to sleep without her next to me, so I'm sure she's the one for me. Trapped in my head, she has the key. She walks me to her bed. I can't wait to see the freaky things she does to me. All the old niggas, they are under me. Back to you, baby, you're a Picasso piece. Yes, indeed, you're lovely, and I can't help it. Follow me through the hell and the storm. Honestly, feel like I've been here before. Probably, visit it here in my dream. I came here looking for you, to know that you were all I need. Wake up from a dream is my everything I need. Her more than anything is my tranquility. I can't go to sleep without her next to me, so I'm sure she's the one for me. Baby, you're the champ. Got you soaking when I'm in it, it's way more than damn. You got so fucking what I had to build it down. Talk about the road, man. Baby, looky. I'ma eat you like studio cookies. Oh, you ain't dealing with a Ricky. Little fresher than the fucking Ricky. Oh, you be in Jersey like you Snooki. But I know you really came from Philly, Delph, just like McMillan. Oh, and my Gucci sweaters on, tryna feel it through the pants, through the jaws. Fucking good, she slick it off. From a dream, she's my everything I need. Her more than anything is my tranquility. I can't go to sleep without her next to me, so I'm sure she's the one for me. Yeah. Hey. Ooh, I fucked her and gave her away. Yeah, I don't need that bitch anyway. Ooh, I fucked her and gave her away. Yeah, I don't need your love no more. I don't need this shit no more. I don't need that bitch no more. She can't ride on this dick no more. Hey, I don't need that bitch. Hey, got 100 hoes on my dick. Hey, got 100 rounds on my stick. Hey, pussy nigga can't hit. Hey, looking forward, it's the wash. I just took your bitch to eat that bitty, huh? Hey, I just fucked your baby mom. And I'm ignorant, I ain't even use a condom. Hey, 30 that bitch look like anaconda. Hey, try me nigga coming for your mama. Hey, I don't want that bitch, she a goner. Hey, beat the pussy up, she got trauma. Hey, ooh, I fucked her and gave her away. Yeah, I ain't need that bitch anyway. Ooh, I fucked her and gave her away. Yeah, I don't need your love no more. I don't need this shit no more. I don't need that bitch no more. She can't ride on this dick no more.
Been doing this millions of times, I seen it through in disguise. Girl, you so fluent with lies, polluted with shine, but you was refusing to climb. All for blessings, all potential, more credential. Hard to vent with all regret and love is testing. I didn't have an offer lesson. Focus hoes, man, they all finessing.